I recently saw a patient in her late 30s. She came in due to ongoing marital issues. Her husband was emotionally distant, critical, and rarely validated her feelings. The more she tried to connect, the more he pulled away. But what stood out was that this wasn't the first time. She had a pattern. Almost all of her past partners had similar traits. She kept asking the same question. Why do I always end up with people like this? That question is more common than we think. And today, I want to explore it, not for a place of judgment, but from a clinical perspective. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Katia Batista, and as a psychiatrist, I see how past experiences, personality disorders, and even certain mental health conditions can shape the way we choose and stay in relationships. In psychiatry, personality refers to the stable way we think, feel, and relate to others. When these patterns become rigid, harmful, and interfere with life and relationships, we may be talking about a personality disorder. It's important to clarify that not everyone meets the full diagnostic criteria for a personality disorder. However, many individuals show certain patterns that significantly affect the way they form and maintain relationships. Let's explore few of these clinically recognized disorders that might explain why someone keeps attracting or staying with emotionally harmful partners. The first one, dependent personality disorder. Some people have an overwhelming fear of being alone. They may tolerate mistreatment or emotional neglect just to keep a relationship going. They often say things like, I know this is not healthy, but I cannot imagine starting over. Clinically, this aligns with dependent personality disorder, a pattern where the need for connection outweighs self-protection. It's not weakness. It often starts in childhood when affection or attention was conditional and love was something to earn. Borderline personality disorder. Some individuals experience emotional dysregulation, intense reactions, fear of abandonment, unstable relationships. Please find in this channel a series about borderline personality disorder. You will learn more about it. People with this condition may feel deeply drawn to emotionally intense or chaotic partners, confusing intensity with connection. They don't want instability, but emotional intensity can feel familiar, almost comforting when that's what early relationships taught them love looks like. Now, let me clarify. Not everyone who struggles in relationships has a personality disorder. Sometimes these patterns are shaped by life experiences, trauma, and the attachment styles we developed early on. This leads us to something we often observe in psychiatry, but in clinical practice, sometimes is underestimated all the time. Attachment and trauma history. Attachment theory explains how our earliest relationships shape the way we connect later. If love was unpredictable, we may confuse inconsistency with passion. If caregivers were unavailable or critical, we may feel drawn to similar dynamics later because they feel normal. That's not a conscious choice, it's emotional memory, is how we seek connection. This is especially relevant in trauma survivors who may tolerate emotional abuse because it mirrors earlier experiences. Feel undeserving of stable, healthy relationships or bond more intensely with people who hurt them. What we sometimes call trauma bonding. This is not just psychological, it has neurobiological roots. In unstable or toxic relationships, the brain is stuck in a cycle. Emotional highs release dopamine, stress triggers cortisol, moments of relief activate oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This creates a transforming loop where the brain associates intensity with connection, like I said before, even when it's harmful, unfortunately. That's why people say, I know it's not good for me, but I cannot live. It's not just emotional, it's chemical. Mood and anxiety disorders can also make more vulnerable to unhealthy relationships. People with depression or chronic low self-esteem often internalize the belief that they don't deserve better. Some may even self-sabotage healthy connections because they feel unworthy of peace or stability. This pattern can be broken with insight, treatment, and compassion. Psychiatric care can help uncover underlying disorders or trauma. Recognizing the pattern is painful, but is also the first step toward healing. So, what can you do if you notice that you keep attracting emotionally harmful relationships? Let's talk about some things you can start doing even before therapy or diagnosis. A small, realistic steps that help you start breaking the cycle. The first thing, recognize the pattern without shame. Awareness is not self blame, it's clarity. Ask yourself, do I tend to overgive in relationships? Do I stay even when I am not respected? Do I confuse intensity with connection. The goal is not to criticize yourself, but to understand with honesty and compassion. Second, set small boundaries and keep them. This is the most important, to keep them. Boundaries are not walls, they are limits that protect your well being. Start small. Say no when something feels wrong, or give yourself a space when a conversation turns harmful. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but discomfort is part of growth. The third one, learn to pause before reacting, before replying, agreeing, or apologizing. Take a moment to ask, is this true to me? You don't have to react, especially when your peace is at stake. Reconnect with your self worth. Being needed is not the same as being valued. Start asking, what do I need? What do I want in a relationship? What do I deserve? Talk about it with someone safe, whether it's a friend, a colleague, a family member. Speaking your experience out loud helps break the isolation. You don't have to do this alone. You are not alone. While these are powerful first steps, sometimes the patterns run deeper, and that's where professional support becomes essential. Let's look at what psychiatric care can offer. A full evaluation can help identify if a personality disorder, mood disorder, or trauma is present. Understanding the diagnosis is not about labels, it's about building the right treatment plan. Approaches like CBT, DBT, and schema therapy help you work through emotional reactions, develop healthier relational skills, and rebuild your sense of self-worth. Medication when needed. If there are symptoms of depression, anxiety, or mood instability, like I said before, medication can be part of the process, not to numb you, but to stabilize and support deeper healing. Change doesn't happen overnight, but with clarity, support, and care, you can break the cycle. Healthy love is not out of reach. It starts with choosing yourself. If this video helped you, or you know someone who is going through this situation, please share it, like the video here, and subscribe to my channel for more content about mental health. Thank you.